This is a video for how to go about creating the base of a tire rim in Autodesk Fusion. You will notice that I have loaded Fusion, and also I have created a new project called Automoblocks Videos, and I call it Automoblocks Videos because the inspiration for the rim we're going to make comes from Automoblocks branded toy cars. And Automoblocks branded toy cars have a wood base and everything else is made out of plastic or rubber. And the inspiration that we're going to draw from for this video is just how do we create the base of the tire rim we'd see here in black. In another video, we're going to discuss how to go about making different designs. You can make the design of the rim anything that you want it to be. And some of these designs get a little bit more complex than others, but we're going to discuss just how to create just a base of the rim so we can go in and design in a later video. So the way we would go about doing this is I've gone and taken an Automoblocks car, and I've taken a rim, and I've taken some dimensions of the rims, and this would just be just for the base. So this will make a little bit more sense when we get later into the video. So what we're going to create in Fusion is just this initial sketch and create a simple revolution. So we're going to go into Fusion, and we're going to go to create sketch. I tell you what, but before we do that, I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to call this tire rim. So I hit save, I'm going to call this tire rim. So just the rim of the car, it's the rim that the tire will fit on. And I want to make sure that my document settings are in inches. So I'm in inches, that's good. We're going to go to create sketch. I'm going to click on my plane here, and we're going to go ahead and start sketching out just some basic dimensions here, just for a little, rectangular prism. I don't really care too much about what the dimensions are right now. What's nice about just sketching out a rectangular prism is everything's in blue. I can drag this around as much as I want. It's not in concrete, it's not placed yet, only until we start placing some dimensions. So we're going to go back, and I went in ahead and just got the radius dimensions for what we would need. Now these, I took a full diameter dimension with the actual rim, but I divided them by 2. So all these are going to be radius dimensions. So we're just going to start out by putting in just the height. And that height is going to be 0.45. So we're going to go ahead and grab a hold of the dimension toolbar, and we're going to click, excuse me, I need to go up and hit dimension again. We're going to click on just the vertical line, 0.45, and hit enter. Now, we need to have ourselves a vertical line over here for us to give a reference point to put in the next dimensions that will define what the size of the hole will be in the middle for it to fit on an axle, and also what the other part will be over here. So we're going to grab a hold of the line command. Let's grab a line and go straight up. We're also going to grab a hold of the center line command. We're going to click on just this line, just the vertical line we did, and click on center line. And you'll notice that has now created a center line for us. And when we go in and we place dimensions, like for instance, we'll go from the first vertical line here over to the center line. And when I drag up, that's going to give me a diameter here. Now I did radius dimensions. So what we'll do is we'll multiply these by 2. So the first dimension we're going to place in, as it says, 0.15. And I'm just going to go 0.15 times 2 and hit enter. And automatically it's going to bring it over, and the diameter that I initially took was 0.3. Our next dimension will be from this vertical line, the outside vertical line, to the center line. Drag up. Let's go back to our drawing here, and I'm going to put in 0.235 times 2. 0.235 times 2, and hit enter. Now automatically now we have just this little vertical part of the inside of the rim. And what we'll get into in later videos is this is creating a gap for the rim to fit onto an axle. So next thing we'll do is we're going to go in and create just this little C shape out here to the outside. And again, what's nice about just creating lines right now is we don't have to, make sure everything is completely perfect. We just want to make sure that we're creating just kind of the initial shape, just the initial geometry. I want to make sure this kind of snaps out here when I see that blue dotted line. Again, I don't have to be perfectly perfect. I can reference the lines down here at the bottom. There's my blue dotted line, which tells me that my vertical line will line up perfectly vertical. And again, we can kind of drag this around, do whatever we wish. When everything is blue, there's no constraints. Notice how it hasn't really given me, anything up here for this blue line. We do have, everything that we need to put this into place to make it constrained, but it's still telling me there's some other things I could place down here at the bottom, not necessarily super important for our design. Just for the sake of the video, I'm going to drag down these dimensions right here just so we can see everything that's going to be up above it. So let's go back to our sketch. And the next dimension we're going to place is this 0.58. So we're going to go to the interior vertical line of our little C shape over here. And we're going to go 0.58 times 2. I'm going to go back. Let's go to dimension. We're going to click on our vertical line, click on our center line, come back up again. Again, what do we have here? We had 0.58 times 2. 0.58 times 2. Enter. Brings it right over. Notice how this is obviously going to be pulling everything closer towards the center. Now, I could drag this over, but it's kind of nice just to go ahead and just place the dimension and just kind of watch how our dimensions come to be after taking, dimensions with a dial caliper from an object. So we're going to go back to here, and I'm going to say it's 0.665 times 2, and hit enter. Jumps right back. Next one we'll do. Furthest away vertical line right here to our center line. We're going to come back up. Let's go back. I'm going to put 0.725 times 2. Hit enter. Now notice how the bottom did not go along with this, and the bottom just kind of stayed down here. I don't have to go place another dimension. I can just go ahead and grab a hold of my vertical constraints. And what I want to do is I want to create something known as a collinear constraint, and I want this top line to be collinear with the bottom line. So we're going to click on this line first, come up and click on the line up here at the top, and automatically now they will line up. If I were to change this dimension up here, both lines would stay collinear. They would stay together. Now the only dimension I have left to place is just my vertical dimensions. Right in here, I got this vertical line, I got the longer vertical line, I got the line down here at the bottom. So let's go back. I'm going to do our smaller dimensions first. So we got 0.41 as the height of those smaller lines. I'm going to come to dimension. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to click and drag out. I'm going to put in 0.41. A little bit taller than I anticipated. I'm going to click here, come out. Actually, it's 0.041. My apologies. Let's go back up here. Missed a decimal place. 0.041. And hit enter. There we go. Now that looks right. Thought that looked a little bit too big. Just one decimal place off. Let's go ahead and go back to our drawing here. I forgot to place that 0 right here on the side. 0.585 is going to be the height of our vertical line here in the middle. Let's go back to dimension. 0.585 and hit enter. We now have for ourselves this little C shape. We got pretty much everything that we needed from our dimension here. And we have for ourselves a nice center line down through the center. Now, if you wanted to make this a little bit easier for yourself, you could, you could just take diameter readings and just go right off the center line. I just went ahead and decided to take radius dimensions. Let's go ahead and go to Finish Sketch. And now when I go to Finish Sketch, you'll see that I have myself 2 sketches here. Looks to me like I'm going to go to my display settings here. Let's go down here to Camera. It looks like I'm in perspective. Let's flip that to orthographic. There we go. Nice. We're going to do a revolution. Let's go to Revolve. And automatically, for the profile, it's going to ask me for a profile. Notice how it's already selected the axis as the center line. If you have a center line in Fusion and you have closed sketches, it'll kind of ask you basically, so what profile are we selecting? Because we know you want to do a revolution. I'm going to choose the outside. And notice around here on the outside, we have this little shape right around the outside here. And I can actually rotate this. So I'm going to click and I can drag it around. And notice how it'll go to a certain amount of degrees. Obviously, we want 360 degrees. Go ahead and say OK. We'll go to Revolve. We're going to turn on our sketch 1 over here. Notice how that went away. Let's click on sketch 1 because I want to be able to see the interior. Only let me do one revolution at a time. So I'm going to go to Profile. I'm going to select for our axis. Go to our center line. Say OK. And now I can turn off that sketch. And now we have the base of our rim. And again, where we're headed with this is we have just the base here of the outside and this little center part of where it attaches to the axle. This will allow us to be creative and create our own design for the outside of the rim. So we will cover that in another video. So this has been a video for how to go about creating just the base of a tire rim that would fit on an Automobilox car in Autodesk Fusion.